Good day, everybody. It's your guy here, the unknown, and today I want us to look at something very important. I want us to go through a couple of beautiful trades that actually transpired today. Today was so amazing. Today was just beautiful. We had a lot of setups on different assets. Okay, so as you already know, this is the most explosive trading strategy for indices, and it's one of the most easiest strategy you'll ever get, and it's straightforward. And one thing I love about it is because it gives you freedom throughout the day. You are free doing whatever you want. You only come to your charts when the equity opens at 9:30 a.m. US time, or if you're in South Africa, your session opens at 3:30 p.m. South African time. Okay, so you have the entire day to yourself. Do whatever you want to do. Only come to the charts when the equity opens, and that's when you start looking for our criteria. I'm gonna go through our criteria and everything. Okay, so guys, today this is US 30. We had a lot of setups today, but I took US 30. Okay, I took US 30 because for me US 30 gave me a very beautiful pattern. As you can see, this is a beautiful rectangle. And then as I already told you, we don't want candles that close out, that actually break out and come back and close as pins. We don't care about those candles. As you can see, if you are emotional, or if you still have FOMO, you are actually scared of the trade going and leaving you behind, you are gonna get chowed most of the days. Okay, you need to be patient, okay, and wait for the candles to close, because they are gonna give you many candles that are actually gonna manipulate you. Okay, as you can see, they gave a candle closed back as a pin, they gave a candle closed as a pin, and even down here they gave a beautiful candle which was one of the biggest engulfing candle. However, when it closed as a pin. So if somebody took this trade over here sold, then that's on you, because I keep repeating over and over again that, guys, wait for the candle to close. You need to make sure that it's an evidence candle, and it's never going to be an evidence candle unless that candle closes as a breakout candle, which is the biggest candle. Okay, so if you look at the trade I took, this is where I took my first trade. Why? Because they gave me a beautiful rectangle. Okay, so I stood on my screen. The first hour I got nothing. The second hour, this was in the middle of the second hour, so you need that patience. Okay, so when this candle broke out, you see my order got fulfilled on the next candle. Why? Because I always wait for the breakout candle to close. I want to make sure it is an evidence candle. As you can see, this is an engulfing candle. Look at the size of this candles here, and look at this candle. This candle was the evidence candle, and then I executed my order on the next candle because it took me a little bit of time to punch in the numbers and all those things. Okay, so that's why I tell you, always wait for the candle to close, because they could have closed this candle here as a pin, just like they did here. So when the market is ready to go, it will go. So make sure you only take a trade when the market has shown you its hand that now it's ready to go, because these guys over here are trapped. Okay, so I took my first trade here because of this engulfment. They pulled back. Okay, my stop losses were roughly somewhere here, I think somewhere here, because my stop losses are mostly 15 to 25 pips, and then they pull back. I watched them as they pull back, then they gave a beautiful engulfing candle. That's where I added another position, and again my stops were still down here. Okay, so already I was in two trades. Okay, and then my target was 50 pips, and then obviously I closed my chart and came back later. So when I came back later, I realized, oh, they went roughly 49 pip, 1 pip short. Okay, and then they came down again. I think this was still roughly 48 pips. Okay, and then when I came, they hit 50 pips here. They were actually, I came back somewhere and they were about to hit 50 pips. So I saw that this move still has that momentum. Okay, and then what I did was I waited for it to go. I just trailed my take profit to 100. This is trade management. You'll need to understand trade management to do this. I then trailed my take profit from 50 straight to 100 pips. Okay, and then I waited for them to go up. As they went up, I trailed my stops, okay, to 50. Okay, I trailed my stops to 50, and then they went up and up and up and up, and then they've hit my 100 pip profit. And it's funny enough because they hit it with a pin, and that's when they actually started preparing for a down move. So guys, I always say the target is 50 pips. So even for me it's 50 pips, but I saw that here they're just going up straight. Okay, and this move was it had a lot of momentum, so I just trail my take profit. So that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. So you can see the take profit was actually hit here at 100 pips, but the most important thing is the pattern that they gave to me. Okay, I always look for patterns. This is just a rectangle. Unfortunately, I didn't use lines here. I just put a box just to show that this is a rectangle. So guys, let's go to the charts and look for, just find other beautiful patterns that were presented today. Guys, today was just beautiful. Honestly, today was the easiest day. And guys, as a reminder again, these are our criteria: trap volume before the session, and then we need to have at least 65 to 70 pips, okay, from where the pattern is being given, in case they are giving us an opportunity back into trap volume. I'll show you. Okay, and then the second criteria is waiting for 9:30. We are waiting for the equity time to open. The third criteria is to wait for a chart pattern, as I just showed you on the trade that I took. I don't take trades until or unless I have a clean chart pattern. Okay, I gave you chart patterns. I have a playbook in the description. I gave you all the chart patterns you need and all the everything you need to follow. Okay, so guys, look at this. This is a rectangle. If you draw a line through here, you draw a line through here, you'll realize that this is a rectangle. Yes, they broke it and they actually retested. Okay, and that's when they actually went up. But one thing that was important for me is this rectangle. So guys, it's important to make sure you have a chart pattern. Why? Because the chart pattern tells you what they've been doing, and then when they break out of the chart pattern with an evidence candle, listen to this, evidence candle. I didn't say breakout candle, I said evidence candle. So that breakout candle must be a big candle. Okay, it must be a big candle. You see, this is an engulfing candle, it's a big candle. Okay, and it must close as a big candle. Hence, I always wait for it to close, and then my order gets fulfilled on the next candle, because I wait for this one to close. I don't just want to enter because now I'm feeling scared they're going. No, even if this candle became big, I wouldn't have a worry. Okay, because I know my target is 50 pips, and 50 pips is nothing when it comes to indices. I just want to be sure, because they can give you a very big candle which eventually closes as a pin, and then most of you will just execute on that candle. Just look at this candle. They have that capability. They show you give big candles and then they close those candles as pin. Once your order got fulfilled here, you are trapped. Okay, so you don't want to get trapped. You need to make sure the candle closes as an evidence candle. Okay, that's why I said evidence candle. Then entry 50 pips. I told you why mine actually went to 100 pips today. Okay, so guys, let's go to Nasdaq, because that one was US 30. If you look at what they did today, they actually went down and then they went up. When the session is opening here, I know we had news. When the session is opening here, you realize that everybody who sold is literally trapped. Okay, when I say trap, I mean people who are at a loss. Okay, when the session is opening, who is at a loss, because most likely they are not going to release them. Actually, let me tell you, one of the things are going to happen if they are giving you a sell opportunity back into trap volume, because these guys are trapped and they are at a minus. Okay, the first thing that will actually happen is they can like send you down and then reverse from here and keep going up. Okay, so if you took the sell opportunity down, you will be trapped. Okay, that's why I'm saying I need roughly 65 to 70 pips. Why? Because if I have 65 to 70 pips up to this point here, because by the time they break here, obviously they've released these guys, and if I have roughly 65 to 70 pips from where the opportunity is being given all up to this point, even if they are not going to release them, I'm more likely going to get my 50 pips. Okay, so this is the first scenario where they will send you into trap volume and not release them. Okay, and then the second scenario is what actually transpired today. Okay, they sent you down and then they just come and stop hunt and then reverse. Okay, this is another scenario, but today we can see they ended up going down. Okay, but most of the time they will just reverse. Okay, in this case they just came to stop hunt these guys, the ones who bought. Okay, they came to stop hunt them. And then another third scenario is actually where they do something like this and they just keep going down. You see, so there are three scenarios. We want to make sure that in whatever scenario the price is going to follow, we have to get our 50 pips. Okay, hence I'm saying I need 65 to 70 pips from where the trade is given all the way to this point here, because if I have more than 60 pips, that means I'm more likely going to get how much? My 50 pips. Okay, so guys, what happened today? I believe you understand why we actually identify trap volume before the session. Okay, because if they are going to give you an opportunity into trap volume, most likely they might not release them, so you need to be aware. Now we're going to go to our second criteria. Our second criteria is simple. We just wait for we just look at the watch. Once it's 9:30 US time, 9:30 am US time, that's when we check mark this one as met. In South Africa it's going to be 3:30 p.m. okay, 3:30 p.m, 15:30 p.m, okay. So once the session is opened, yes, we go to the next one. We cannot go to the next one unless this one is met. This is the only one we can skip because some days we won't be able to see who is trapped, okay. So here now on the third criteria, we are looking for a chart pattern, and we need the cleanest chart pattern. This is where you need patience, okay. Why? Because they're more likely going to give you many fake chart patterns just to trap you. So you need the cleanest chart pattern, okay. So once we get a chart pattern, the next step is to go and identify an evidence candle, okay. An evidence candle, I already explained that. So let's look for a chart pattern. If there is no chart patterns, we do not trade. I repeat, if there are no chart patterns, we do not open any trade in any manner, okay. So let's see, what did they do? Prices opened, okay. We are not going to trade up until today we had news at 8 o'clock. So what I do is I'll put different lines. Please pay close attention to this. Look at the times down here, okay. Look at the times. This is 25, okay. So on 30, this is where the session is opening. I'm going to put a line and I'm going to make it like this, okay. This is what I do, okay, because I realize this works better for me. And then when it's o'clock, I'm gonna just put another line, but this one is just gonna be a little bit thicker. Why? Because the trades will come near, let's say 10 minutes, 2 or 10 minutes after, or exactly at this times, okay. So the half past mark is very important, and the o'clock mark is important because that's when you're gonna get most of the trades. It could be 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after, okay. So you must just be aware of the times, because if you are aware of times, you're gonna get the best trades every single time they are presented, okay. Okay, let's look at this. If you look at this, let's go straight to o'clock. Yes, and then let's pull this one to half past, okay. And I want to show you something which is important for me as well, okay. So this obviously is the last hour of the session, but for me, I am willing to go at least 30 minutes, okay. If I haven't found anything, I'll go at least 30 minutes. If I find something, I'm gonna close my charts. But if I haven't found anything, I'm gonna go at least 30 minutes after the session. And still, if they don't give anything, that's when I'm gonna call it a day, okay. I'm gonna call it a day. So you see, this is nothing fancy. It's just times. I repeat, this is just times. Look down here, my broker's behind in 2 hours, so 13:30 is roughly 15:30, okay. So you can see this is 14:00, this is 14:30, 15:00, 15:30, all the way. You see, these are just different times. Here it's 16, okay. And then I'm willing to go at least 30 minutes after the session. I'm just showing you things that I do. So you already see we have trap volume down here, okay. These guys are trapped. When the session is opening, we know that these are the guys who are trapped, and most of the days they're not gonna release them, okay. That's why it's important to actually note these guys, because most of the days they're not gonna release them, okay. But as I showed you, they can just come and stop hunt, or come and release them, then keep trending. So we just need to be aware, okay. So what did they do? They traded, okay. They went down, they came here, then they started consolidating, okay. They started consolidating. If you actually look at it, look at what they did. Wow, I told you I use the bodies. I don't care about the pins, okay. I use the bodies, okay. I use the bodies personally. So if you look at this, you realize that okay, it's more like a rectangle, even though it's not a clean rectangle. But just look at it. They came and touched here, they came, touched down again, and then they went up and touched, and then they broke out here. I didn't take this trade over here, and my reason was, okay, I saw this candle here as an evidence candle, but it was not convincing to me. Why? Simply because the next candle can just start going up, okay. This is not enough evidence to show that now they are leaving. If you read the playbook, okay, you realize that I said a big candle. This candle must show. An evidence candle is something that gives you evidence that now they are moving. We need to trade something that's already in motion, okay. We don't want to catch it early, and we don't want to catch it late. We want to catch something that's already moving, something that's already in motion. and that is the most important thing. So for me, I saw this one, but it wasn't the cleanest one, hence I didn't take it. Okay, yes, let's see how many pips it went. But for me, okay, it went 40 pips. This is where I compare, okay, because if I was to take this one, I take the easiest kind of trade. I told you, compare these indices and take the easiest one. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna show you this at the same time as I'm showing you it on US30. Why on S&P? Why? Because these trades actually happen at the same time, and mostly S&P and Nasdaq are gonna give you the same kind of things. Okay, so as you can see, these guys are trapped. I'm not gonna go through the entire explanation again because you already know. Okay, I'm not gonna go through the entire explanation. Why? Because you already know this. Okay, so these guys are trapped here. Why? Because they were sent down, and everybody who went down sold is literally trapped when prices are opening up here. So I told you the scenarios that might happen. Okay, I told you most of the days they are not gonna release these guys. Okay, if you look at S&P, had you taken S&P, you would have realized that if you took SL, this is exactly what I told you. Okay, that's why guys, for me all these things are important. I know other people tend to ignore this and think this is not important. Okay, for me it's important because if, oh thank god, I still have the patterns that I've drew here. So you see this one was more evidence than the one we got on Nasdaq, hence I always say compare. You see this one, it did break out and close as a breakout, but for me it wasn't a convincing breakout. Okay, it wasn't convincing evidence, because the next, if they manage to give you pins like big candles going down then a pin, big candles going down then a pin, okay, they could have still done something else. Prices could have went back up. So I need a move that's already in motion. Okay, that's already in motion. And by the way, they are playing on the closing price of the previous day, okay, which is an important key level. But when you look at it in terms of S&P, this, I saw this one, guys. Honestly, I saw this one, okay, and I didn't take this one. Okay, this is the trade that I can say I missed. I was supposed to take this one if I took this, if I took this opportunity. Okay, because here it wasn't that clean, but here again you can see this was a very strong line. Okay, this is the trade I can say I missed. But again, for me, one thing that became important was, okay, they were just consolidating, and yes, of course, this is a form of shoulder, head, and a shoulder. This was a good pattern, but if you're gonna use the head and shoulder, we didn't have a great neckline. So for me, I was expecting something like, okay, if I'm trading something here like this, I would have expected something where they hit the level. Okay, because if you look at the line above, if you look at this line, you realize that they didn't really go to it. But again, when I draw this middle line, it makes sense. Okay, so this is a trade that I can say I missed. Okay, I can say I missed this trade, but it would have been much better if they really played inside, because remember, we don't want to take anything that looks like a pattern. We want to take clean patterns. Okay, so yes, this one, because you see here they were just playing inside this line, so it made a lot of sense. Okay, this is why I'm saying this is the trade that I missed, mostly because of this. Okay, mostly because of this. Okay, but still I would have preferred something that kept on playing. Then they broke out. What did they do? Immediately after breaking out, these guys went over 50 pips. If you were targeting 50 pips, you would have realized that 50 pips actually got hit in one candle down here. Okay, that was 50 pips, and then they pulled back again. Okay, they pulled back again. So when they pulled back, this one didn't give a good trade when they were going down. Okay, because the pattern is the most important thing. But if you look at still again, if you look at Nasdaq, it gave a head and shoulder. Let me show you. It gave a shoulder, head and shoulder, and again, head and shoulders are more similar to right angle triangles. Okay, so if you look at this, they gave a shoulder right here, and then eventually they went and gave a head up here. Okay, but these are not trades that I took, because guys, I want the easiest trade for myself. I don't want to complicate things. You see, this is another head because they went down and came back again, and the head is just above this one, as you can see. So this was This was an ascending, something like an ascending head and shoulder. You see, shoulder, head, shoulder. And not only that, this was in the form of a retest where they're retesting the pattern that they just broke out of from. And then again, this one gave a very beautiful evidence candle, okay, out a candle out of the breakout. This was the best evidence candle. As you can see, it went beyond 50 pips. If you were targeting 50 pips, you got it. So guys, we are looking for the patterns, but again, I want you to focus on the cleanest patterns, okay, the cleanest patterns. So the one that I saw fit, okay, this was Nasdaq, sorry, this was Nasdaq, head and shoulder, okay. S&P didn't give a really good pattern on the way down for the second move. You see, it's not really a good pattern, but again, you see, okay, it's not a really good pattern, but again, it ended up going and paying. But this wasn't the best of patterns. For it to be roughly a right angle triangle, if they came up here again, I would have taken it because it was going to be a good pattern. So for me, guys, I need a clean pattern, something I'm not guessing, okay. So when you compare them, you're going to get the best pattern from one, and maybe the other won't give you certain doubts, okay. So this one gave a beautiful pattern on the second move down, but on the first move, okay, on the first move, it didn't give a very good evidence candle, okay. But this one gave a beautiful evidence candle. On the second move down, it didn't give something good. But for me, I was still waiting for something clean, because when I trade, I need clean things, okay. I need super clean things, super clean, super clean. So if you look at this one, okay, where is it? If you look at this one again, okay, if you look at this one, everybody, the session opened here, so everybody here is literally trapped when the session is opening. Everybody who went down is trapped, okay. So I don't want to take an opportunity back into trap volume if I don't have 65 to 70 pips, okay, 65 to 70 pips from where the evidence candle is being given. So obviously this one I wasn't given a pattern because they started going down, and they just went down, and they went down, okay. They went down, and then later what happened, they started holding a level. When they start holding a level, that's where you should actually start asking yourself, why are they not going anywhere now? Okay, so when they hold a level, they're actually giving you something like a pattern, okay. They're giving you something like a pattern. So this is the pattern that I took, okay. This is the pattern that I saw, and this is the perfect pattern that actually ended up working for me, okay. So guys, I don't need things that I will actually be guessing. I need things that I will be trading, okay. I am not gonna be guessing, okay. I'm not gonna be guessing, but it's fine because here I need where it touched the body. I don't care about the pins. So if you realize here, if you look here carefully, you realize it hit the body, and then even this pin came and hit here. This one didn't reach, but this one also came here, okay. So guys, I told you, it's not about okay, if you're using this line again, it will make sense because the bodies, they hit here, they hit here, they hit here. So it's 1 2 3 4 touches, 1 2 3 4 touches to the top before they pull down. So guys, if you look at this candle, you realize this is an evidence candle. This is not compared to this is not comparable to this, because you can see this one is full of doubts when they broke out, and this is the body, and where the pin hits, okay. So for me, I saw this one as the cleanest pattern when they broke out, and that's where I waited for this one to close. When it closed, I took my first entry, and then they pulled back. Pulling back is not bad, guys, okay. Don't be scared, okay, because most of the day they will pull back, but when they are pulling back like this, just look if they give you an engulfing candle that closes above this level. Why? Because you don't want to enter a trade that is in a loss. As you can see here, my first entry was somewhere here, and my second entry was above. So I actually add when the move is actually going up, because now you can see I only opened this trade when this one was already in a win, and my stops were back inside. So you see, they went 40 for the first entry. They went 40 something pips, okay. They went for the 49 pips, pull back, and that's where I saw that now they are going up because they've just engulfed the high, okay. You see this blue dotted line, they've engulfed the high. So that's where I actually trade my stops to my take profit to 100, and that's where I got 100. So whenever you are adding into a trade, make sure you add when the move is going, and make sure you take a pattern that you don't have to guess, okay. I think the most important thing is patience. Okay, there are days you'll feel like, oh, they are doing nothing, and if I keep holding like this, I'm gonna end up not taking anything. It's okay not to take anything. It's only wrong to take something that's not clean. Don't force a trade. Okay, that's why for me, I'm saying, if because I always compare, this first move on Nasdaq, for me it wasn't convincing. However, this one was convincing now. Okay, maybe yes, because S&P is more volatile, obviously it will give you something bigger, but this one was more convincing for me, because this candle here has no difference if you look at it to this candle here. It's the candle that broke out. It's the candle that stands out as a breakout candle. Okay, so guys, they can break out in either direction. They can break out down and go down. They can break out down and then reverse. So guys, you just have to know that at the end of the day, it's about your win rate. Okay, taking trades that give you high probability, because some days you're gonna lose them, some days you're gonna win them. Okay, but at least your strategy must give you 6 wins out of 10 trades. If it's 6 out of 10, you know you're gonna be profitable in the long term. So I don't know if my explanation confused you more or enlightened more, but I wish it actually enlightened more. Okay, so just compare them, guys. I told you, for me, I open 3 screens and I'll be looking at USD, Nasdaq, and S&P, and I'll take the easiest one. Nasdaq and S&P are gonna give the same type of trades over 90% of the time. There are days when obviously they will go in opposite directions. Okay, but most of the days they're going to be highly correlated. When they are correlated, they're going to give you almost the same kind of thing at the same time. But there are days when you'll be on like, you'll have an advantage whereby maybe S&P leads, it breaks out while Nasdaq is still inside, and that gives you a clue as to what Nasdaq is more likely to do if you are actually counting on correlations. But again, I will say, like, guys, always take clean trades. You see here, they gave you a double bottom, and actually that's where they went up. If you look at the times, this happened exactly at the same time I took US30. Okay, so for me, I preferred US30 because I want to manage the trade. I want to see the opportunity to scale in. So once I get a good setup, I just take that screen to full view, like I'm doing right now, and then I'll focus on that one. Okay, so that's why today I took US30. Okay, because S&P was already up here, but for Nasdaq, you see this one, they gave something like a rectangle again. This is what, this is S&P. They gave a rectangle again. Wow, guys, I just don't know. They gave a rectangle again. So what did they do? They took people down. Maybe there were people who were saying, oh, these guys are gonna, they have to come and take these guys out. Guys, they're not always gonna do that. Okay, there's always 3 scenarios, okay, that is either gonna play out. So if you look at this carefully, you realize that, oh, S&P didn't come and release these guys. Yes, Nasdaq did. You see, Nasdaq did, but S&P didn't. Okay, so if you took this one and you went out expecting with your take profit here, just because now you think they have to take these guys out, what, by the time you came back, say for instance, if your stops were here, they closed you before even hitting your take profit. So guys, you need to know what you're doing. Okay, you need to know the possibilities. Hence, I'm always saying it's important to do what, to identify trapped traders before the session begins. And if you look at it from where the engulfing candle was given all the way to release them, we had roughly 160. So I knew that, okay, it's easy to get 50 pips here, even though I didn't take this one. Okay, I took US30 because I don't want to overtrade anyway, but this trade happened at the same time with US30. If you look at it here, you'll realize that, oh wow, okay, I don't fall for these candles, because here there was no clean pattern honestly when this candle broke down, because you see they were just playing here and they broke down. So if somebody took this, I don't know, because there was no clean pattern. It's not a rectangle. Just look, they touched the low once and they were just been playing here and then they broke out. So they didn't really play on this line. Hence I'm saying I prefer clean patterns. That's why I'm telling you that this one was the best one, but for me, I would have preferred if it just played inside. But for those who took it, obviously congratulations. Okay, but this now was the best pattern, because now you see they touched. So this is a long rectangle and it breaks out. When this candle breaks out, this breakout is the same as this breakout over here. Okay, no difference at all. Okay, no difference. So they went up, they pulled back, and then they came with an engulfing. If I was to add, guys, honestly, I would have added somewhere here, okay? But because I don't want to add before this engulfing candle takes out the recent high, okay, the recent high of the pullback. So this one didn't actually close above, so I wouldn't have added more right away. But guys, you see this move just went straight to 50 pips, and that's amazing, okay? So this was a pattern on their move up. This was the cleanest one, and when we compare it to Nasdaq, you realize that Nasdaq didn't give a clean pattern. Why? Because as you can see, this is not a full rectangle. I don't love patterns like this. And then they went down. When this pattern actually went up, they gave a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, and that's where the neckline actually gets something like this. So obviously this is the candle that broke out, okay? Unfortunately, yes, this candle it is a big engulfing candle, but it just has a pin, so that gives you more doubts, okay? Because this is obviously a head and shoulder. But again, as I'm saying, guys, always compare and take the cleanest one. What I will advise you is master the patterns. Master the patterns, train your eyes on identifying the patterns, and then take the cleanest or the easiest one on the day, okay? Because if you are not comparing, obviously, yes, you get less trades, and sometimes you might end up forcing the one you're taking to give you trades when it's not ready, okay? But it's always good to compare, okay? Shoulder, head, shoulder, but this is where the neckline is just screwed down, but it was supposed to hit here, so this wasn't a clean head and shoulder. Hence I'm saying S&P gave a beautiful pattern when going back. And as I told you, I'm willing to go 30 minutes after, but for me today I just got a beautiful trade, and that was the day for me. As you can see, this was the only trade I took today. It's a beautiful trade. So yes, I actually, because of the move that was happening, I actually ended up taking 100 bips, so it's 100 times 2, so I actually got 200 bips. So you see, this is so beautiful, guys. It's not about the number of pips, okay? I don't care how big the move is, okay? I just trailed this one because I saw a lot of momentum. Do I usually do that? No, I don't do that most of the time. But as I came to my screen, I saw that, okay, they've just engulfed the closing price, so that was the perfect place for me to actually see if it's going up and up and up. And of course I could have closed one and allowed one to go, but again, that's just a personal preference, and that's what I did today. So guys, I believe you understand this, okay? I don't know if you understand. If you have questions, talk to me. All these criteria, guys, I've outlined them on your playbook. Please read that playbook. Most of you have it, but you haven't read it, okay? Because I see from the emails you are sending me, because on the playbook it states the evidence candle is not just a breakout, it's the biggest candle that closes. When this candle closes here, it tells you that everybody who is trapped here, goodbye. And that's what I wrote in the playbook, but I've realized most people are not reading it. Guys, this is not as hard as you are making it, okay? Just try to master it. Yes, it will take time, but just try to master it, okay? You even have the EMA of 20 to just confirm your trades, okay? You see, now this move is inside, okay? So guys, this is so easy. Believe me, this is so easy, okay? I love you a lot, guys. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. So subscribe if you haven't, okay? So guys, the criteria are straightforward, honestly. Trap volume before the session. If they're giving you an opportunity down into trap volume, okay, because these guys are losing when the session is opening up here. If they're giving an opportunity into the guys who are losing, most of the days they are not going to release them, just as they did here. They didn't even release them, but for US30 they did release them, okay? They did release them because these are the guys who are trapped, so they did come all the way to release them. So for this one, even if they gave me maybe a trade somewhere here, I wasn't going to take it because I didn't have enough all the way to this point here whereby they will release them, okay? I need at least 60 to 70 pips. So that's why I didn't even do anything. Besides, there's nothing to trade here, okay? The only thing to trade was when they give you a chart pattern, okay? And make sure the chart pattern is the cleanest chart pattern. Please just do me that favor. Make sure the chart patterns you're actually trading is the cleanest chart pattern. You see, this one is the cleanest from all the chart patterns that were given today, to be honest. it's the cleanest one. Okay, it's the easiest one. Okay, and then again, even this one here is the easiest one. Even this one is the easiest one. Just that for me, I would have preferred them playing around, but because there's this middle line, of course it's a cleanest one. And for Nasdaq, this one was the cleanest one. Just look, shoulder, head, shoulder, they're just playing on this level. Okay, and then they give you an evidence candle, because when I talk about a clean pattern, I'm talking about a pattern where all the criteria are met, a pattern that gives you an evidence candle. Because guys, when they are trapping, you might not see them, but the evidence candle should just pop out. Okay, this one wasn't like a good pattern. Okay, this is not something I would have traded, because even the head and shoulder, you see we are forcing it. Okay, so guys, always try not to force a pattern. Take the easiest one. If you're gonna take it from these two, if I was gonna take one on the way back, I was gonna take this one. And actually I did want to take this one. It's just that it happened at the same time with S&P and one thing with US 30. Because if you look at the times, then okay, let's see, this one is 1517, right? Let's see this one that happened, it was roughly 1512. So you see, it was at the same time. Had I taken this one and then went again and take S&P 500, I wouldn't have got time to manage this trade, because you can see this is 18. So if I took the one that happened at 17, I wasn't gonna actually get my second entry. So guys, it's important, this is important. Follow all these criteria and wait for the cleanest pattern. Guys, they are gonna give you many things that looks like pattern which are not patterns. So master the patterns. I've given you a lot of patterns on the channel. I also try to pick the patterns you should look for on my playbook. Just go and read it. Okay, it's in the description. Please go and read and master those patterns. Spend more time drawing them on your charts. Okay, just give yourself maybe 2 days where you just go through your charts, just identifying patterns. Then take a screenshot of those patterns, put them in a folder. Whenever you are free, go through that folder, look at those patterns. Oh, like discuss them. If you can write, take your book, write notes about the pattern. Remember when I was starting, I told you that I was actually, I think when this channel started, I used to tell you that I will come to like I think I once asked you to actually write a story about a chart that I provided. Because what I used to do, I also told you this, I would come to my charts and see what happened and write a whole page with my hand explaining what has been happening. That gives you the story of the market. That actually helps you master things more easily. Okay, don't just look at them, oh, this is it, and pass. No, try to write a story. Oh, they're taking traders up. Oh, they're taking traders down. Oh, they are using this big candle. Why? Okay, and then that will help you understand the entire pattern. When you do, believe me, it's not going to take you a lot of time to actually master these patterns. Once you've mastered them, guys, this is going to be so easy for you. Okay, it's going to be so easy for you. Guys, this video is already long. Please hit the like button and subscribe for the sake of the algorithm, so that others can actually be able to see this. And one last thing I want to share with you is that don't be greedy. Okay, just because maybe this trade is happening late doesn't mean it's gonna go all the way up. Mostly markets are after liquidity, but I'm not saying always say, oh, they have to take liquidity out. No, there's always three scenarios. They can lead you into this liquidity and not release them, then reverse. Why? Because obviously when they went down, they punished these guys. Most of these guys have closed their trades, most stops have been hit. Okay, and then when they are coming back, there's still less left, so they can take them out if they see that the money is more, or else they can just trap them and reverse. So just know that to any trade you take, there are three possibilities. Every trade you take, there are three possibilities. Please, whenever you're taking a trade, don't try to be greedy. Think about the scenarios. Okay, that's why I say identify trap traders. Why? Because sometimes they will not release them. Sometimes they will just come and stop hunt. What did they do today? They just came and stop hunt. This is not releasing them, this is a stop hunt. Okay, so there are three scenarios. They can just come and reverse, lead you into them and reverse without even releasing them. Okay, some days they'll come and stop hunt, some days they'll come and really trend. So just go to your chart, look at US 30, look at S&P, look at Nasdaq, and just see how they reacted to trap volume before the session. There's always three scenarios, guys. The same applies to even when you are taking your pattern. You see, this is an evidence candle, but they can still come and close you. Okay, they can still come and close you. there are always three scenarios. They can break out trend immediately, they can break out pullback. As you can see today, they pull back and went up. That's where they hit my take profit. But again, they could have pulled back and closed me and went the opposite direction. Okay, that's something you cannot control. You can only control your entries and your exits. Okay, so that's why you will never have a strategy that wins 100%, because the market will do different things. So guys, this video is long enough. I just appreciate you guys. Please practice, go and backtest. I shared a tool for backtesting in my recent video. Please go and watch it, backtest, make sure you become better every day. I really love you guys. Have a beautiful night. Thank you.